Includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month. And get a free Roku 4 lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning, and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. The city of Clinton on Tuesday night approved the purchase of property on Illini Drive in Clinton for its new city hall. Clinton Mayor Helen Michalossi has made a new city hall a priority since she campaigned for mayor in the spring of 2025 and feels this is a big step forward. City Administrator Tony Harris indicates it was conversations with the property owner that led to the purchase of a former medical center.
We certainly did. And Tony, I think you can speak to the negotiation on that a lot as well, since you were involved in that from the beginning to secure that new city hall. It's at 803 Illini Drive, which was formerly Dr. Sid Roscheid's building.
Well, this started with a phone call from Sid, and he told me that he's going to be listing his property for sale, and I thought, man, that could be a good location for one of the three new facilities that we're looking for. So I made a phone call to the mayor, and we started just basically talking about. I had a brief meeting with Clint, our treasurer, and got a preliminary budget from him on what we can afford for City Hall, Fire Department, Police Department, and then further discussion with the mayor. It was her belief that she wanted to not just single one out and do one, first. We kind of wanted to have a plan in place as to, if we're going to move there for City Hall, she wants a plan for Police Department and Fire Department. That doesn't mean we're going to start building each of those because we don't have a definite location for those yet, but her goal was to get the location announced on all three of those. So this is one step. Again, we're still in the early stages of it. They just voted on it, approved it last night, and we'll start moving forward. But it has been talked about for the last 3 or 4 months, I think, somewhere in there. Yeah. But then officially brought up at the council meeting and voted on.
The purchase price of the property was just over $700,000, which Harris points out was the appraised value. Mayor Michalossi says the building is very well suited to accommodate the needs they would have for a city hall facility.
I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. What was agreed on with the landowner for what we voted on last night, he asked us to get it appraised, and then he would just accept the appraised value. And I don't have those numbers in front of me. I want to say it was $730,000, which we felt was fair, and that's directly coming from the appraiser. That's what he said he would accept, and is what was voted on.
And one of the advantage of purchasing this property was, when we took a look at it, is it needs really minimal renovation. The office layout, the bulk of the building is laid out perfectly for city business, as well as an area where they're going to have to obviously build a city council chambers in that building. And even that, the walls are such. Sid Roscheid, I believe, is also an engineer. So when he built that, it's structurally so that we can just go in there and for minimal dollars, put that city council chambers in there and be relatively good to go.
Harris indicates they have not started to come up with designs or renovation plans for the building because they are seeking to keep the costs down. The renovation of the interior will be the next step in the process.
We're moving along, but still in the very, very early stages of this. Voted to purchase it. Now we're going to move forward with design. We don't have anything. We've had, some discussions, what we would like to see in a design, but nothing on paper as of yet.
We asked the people that actually work in the city hall what they need, and then took a long, hard look at the space that they had now and the space they would need, and then looked at Sid's building and to see if that was at all feasible for us to go forward with.
Some of those studies are already done. It was before I came on, before you came on, Mayor, where I don't know what was spent, but there was a design, a build design and a study done. We still have those, but we just didn't feel like we wanted to spend more money for another study to be done or design build. So, we're trying to keep the cost down. That's why we started where we started, and just talking, just verbal communication with an architect, just to kind of lead us and give us some input. Okay, we bought the building now. Now where do we go with trying to get a design?
Because money is finite. It's city money. It's taxpayer money. It's your money. It's my money. It's Tony's money. So you want to be conscious of that all the time.
Mayor Michalasi hopes to have a location announced for a new fire station in the next few weeks, and soon after a location for a new police station. She emphasizes the police and fire will not share a facility or location. The use of e-bikes, particularly among school-age kids, has skyrocketed in communities across the country, and it is prompting warnings from local authorities as kids utilize them for transportation to and from school. Clinton Police Department School Resource Officer Cody Mayer indicates they spent the days and weeks leading up to the start of school educating kids on the fact that e-bikes utilize the same rules of the road as automobiles.
And e-bikes are definitely a challenge, but since they've come out, we've had more complaints about all kinds of bicycles. These last few weeks, I've been just getting out with kids and talking to them. I've probably talked to 20 different kids about, hey, do you know rules of the road? Like, I see them just run a stop sign. Do you know that you have to obey that, whether it be an e-bike or a regular bike? One thing I've also been, and this is good for the parents to know too, I've been telling these kids, like, you can get a traffic citation on a bicycle. What do you think the state of Illinois is going to do with your driver's license at 16 if you get a traffic citation when you're 14? Are you going to get your driver's license when you turn 16? That's going to be up to the state and the judge. So you don't want to mess up that big thing you've been looking forward to for years because you did a dumb thing on a bicycle when you were 14. With the schools, the junior high and the high school specifically, we do see a lot of the e-bikes. If you drive down Illini Drive or 54, you'll see our bike racks with those e-bikes parked out there and chained up. As we've talked about earlier, those are high traffic areas when school is back in session. So it's important that, one, the parents doing drop-off, pickup are paying attention, but those kids need to know the rules of the road and follow them. We have had lots of complaints, specifically on Illini Drive, about kids not following those rules. So it can be dangerous, but if they pay attention, if they know the rules, which during 6th grade, I do teach them a portion about that. If they're paying attention, they know the rules, they're following those rules, it makes it a safer situation.
According to Officer Mayer, young people can ride these e-bikes. However, come January 1st, 2027, new laws come into play for e-bikes that will put age restrictions on them. He encourages parents to become familiar with these laws and how they will impact their child and any e-bike they may own.
Come January 1st, there's going to be new laws in place. Something maybe parents need to think about as they're thinking about Christmas, going to buy their kid one of these bikes or something like that.
Okay.
January 1st, you have to be 15. Junior high age students will not be able to drive these past January 1st. And that's for class 1 and 2, which go up to 20 mile an hour.
Okay.
A lot of these kids right now are riding those e-bikes that go faster than that. Those are considered class 3. And at class 3, which goes up to 28 mile an hour, you have to be 16 to drive those. So those laws are going to come in effect January 1st. That's probably going to be a big frustration for some parents because they've dropped a lot of money on these things for these kids, and now they're just going to sit in the car or in the garage. But January 1st, the answer is going to be no for junior high age students.
While some high schoolers last month with the Heart Media Group, Clinton Police Chief Ben Lowers discussed in depth the many issues e-bikes are presenting the community. But as it relates to the community's youth, he is imploring the owners of these e-bikes to be mindful of the rules of the road and is hoping motorists will keep a keen eye out for kids utilizing them until the law changes on January 1st.
We talked about that last month, and we get an exorbitant amount of complaints about the e-bikes and the scooters. While I think they're a great resource and to have and when operated safely and whatnot, it's a great thing to have available to us. But the complaints that we get are more oftentimes the operation of them, not the mere existence of them. It's the running the stop signs. It's the lane usage, that they're required to stay to the farthest right side of the roadway and with the correct traffic flow, direction of traffic flow, hand signals when turning, but stopping, pulling in and out of parking lots, sliding across lanes of traffic, things of that nature. It's the operation of, and there again, as Officer Mayer had said, the younger kids riding them may not be familiar with the rules of the road. Some of the adults riding them, the reason they are is because they've lost a driver's license. Well, there was a reason that they lost it, and they're not any better at operating an e-bike.
While some high schoolers utilize e-bikes, he indicates they see them predominantly used by kids at Clinton Elementary School and Clinton Junior High School. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
From pickups to family vehicles, trust the experts at Walker Tire in Clinton, featuring quality Yokohama tires for dependable performance. We're here to help you find the right tire for every vehicle and every budget. Learn more by clicking our icon on DeWittDailyNews.com.
Longview Community Bank is now open in Clinton, investing in rural Illinois. I'm Vice President Nate Sams. Stop by for a visit or to find out how we provide real local banking. Click our banner ad at the top of the local news page on DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is Seth Lawrence, station manager for the Hart Media Group here in Clinton. We take pride in being Clinton and Central Illinois' local radio stations each and every day, 7 days a week. What does local news mean? Here's a sample.
The broken mains that we keep having, and it's just been an ongoing saga.
And I would venture to guess, Seth, that is probably the number one complaint that I hear from the public. It is the amount of e-bikes.
Right now, El Nino is starting to get going. It actually is already established across the equatorial Pacific there. The winter season is when El Nino impacts our jet stream the most.
You hear the local people that make the news every day, 7 days a week. Follow WHOW on Facebook and Instagram to see the faces behind the voices and stay connected to your local community on WHOW and WEZC.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sportswire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. Jose Urquidy pitched 6 innings of crisp 2-hit relief. Rookie Braden Montgomery drove in 2 runs, and the Chicago White Sox topped the crosstown Chicago Cubs 3-0 on Wednesday to salvage the finale of a 3-game series at Wrigley Field. Montgomery had 2 hits, including a 2-run double off the glove of Cubs first baseman Michael Busch in the 8th. Andrew Benintendi broke a scoreless tie with an RBI single in the 6th as the White Sox rebounded from a pair of walk-off losses and ended an 8-game losing streak at the iconic Northside Ballpark dating to August 2023.
A swing and a base hit to center. Here comes Vargas around third. He's going to be sent by Dursley. The throw to the plate, late. Great send. It's 1-0.
The White Sox and Cubs split their 2026 series 3-3. The Cubs lead in the all-time interleague matchup 80-78. Opener Sean Newcomb tossed 2 hitless innings. Urquidy was 2-1 and entered in the 3rd and struck out 8 without a walk. Grant Taylor pitched the 9th for his 7th save and completed a 2-hitter.
3-2. He got him swinging. Urquidy comes set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on a low curveball. 0-2. Got him swinging. He strikes out 3, and they leave 1 after a pitch. Called strike 3 on a fastball. Okay. 1-2. Called strike 3. Boy, he's dealing. 5 strikeouts for Jose Urquidy. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 6 Ks for Urquidy. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on a changeup. 4 straight strikeouts for Urquidy. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Hap's really upset. This might be the best run of strikeouts mid-game by any White Sox pitcher this year.
Clay Holmes is 5-6 and was sharp in a 2nd straight start and 3rd overall for the Cubs since they acquired him at the trade deadline from the Mets. The right-hander allowed 1 run on 6 hits in 5 1/3 innings, walking 2. Number 9 hitter Tyrone Taylor, acquired from the Mets along with Holmes, had the Cubs' only 2 hits. Taylor led off the 6th with a double, but was thrown out at third trying to advance on Pete Crow Armstrong's fly to right.
There's a swing and a line shot to Braden. He'll make the catch. Here comes the throw to third. They're going to get him by a mile. Oh, Tyrone Taylor out by 20 feet. Braden Montgomery with a seed. He did everything right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, he got behind the ball just enough where he had momentum to get behind his throw. Taylor, on the other hand, did everything wrong. Taylor was a little bit off the bag, and the ball was already caught. He had one stride to get back, tag the bag, and then get his momentum going back toward third base.
White Sox left fielder Sam Antonacci made a leaping catch of Alex Bregman's drive against the Ivy for the first out of the 7th to help preserve a 1-0 White Sox lead.
0-1. Bregman hits a high fly out in the left. That's trouble. And Antonacci leaps. He made the catch. Wow, he caught it right below the basket. What a play.
We're talking about the ones that can just get in that basket. And Antonacci timed his jump perfectly. Had a snow cone catch with Urquidy pumping his fist on the mound.
The White Sox added 2 runs in the 8th off Ryan Rollison. Miguel Vargas walked, then pinch hitter Randall Grichuk and Montgomery followed with doubles.
Ground ball. Fair ball off the glove of Bush. It'll kick in the foul ground. 2 runs are going to score. Braden at second with a double. And White Sox fans are making some noise here at Wrigley Field. It's 3-0.
White Sox lefty Anthony Kay is 9-5 with a 4.01 ERA and faces Atlanta right-hander Grant Holmes, who's 7-5 with a 3.82 ERA on Thursday at Rate Field. It's a makeup of a June 11th rainout. The Cubs are at Seattle on Friday with starters yet to be announced. Sal Stewart hit a 3-run home run, and the Cincinnati Reds added runs on a throwing error and an infield hit, rallying for a 5-4 win over the St. Louis Cardinals on Wednesday night. Matt McLain doubled, and Ellie De La Cruz singled before Stewart stepped to the plate in the 6th with the Reds trailing 2-0. Stewart's 27th homer of the year traveled 422 feet over the center field wall. Stewart is the 3rd fastest Reds player to surpass 100 RBIs since 1920. His 94 RBIs lead the MLB this season. Leading by a run in the 8th, McLain reached first on a throwing error, and Jose Trevino scored on the play. Dane Myers dropped a run-scoring bunt later in the inning that stretched the lead to 5-2. Red starter Chase Burns struck out 8 and allowed 2 earned runs and 6 hits with 2 walks in 5 innings. Reliever Sam Maul is 2-7 and pitched the 6th inning to earn the win, allowing 1 hit and a walk with a strikeout. Nathan Church and Brian Torres had RBI singles for the Cardinals in the 4th inning. Jordan Walker hit a 2-run home run in the 9th, his 25th, as the Cardinals closed within a run. With 2 outs in the 9th, Jose Fermin doubled and advanced to third on a wild pitch to Mason Wynn. Wynn tapped the ball back to closer Emilio Pagan, who threw him out at first to end the game. Pagan earned his 16th save. Cardinals starter Matthew Liberatore is 5-11 and struck out 9 in 6 innings and took the loss. Cardinals righty Michael McGreevy is 5-9 with a 3.48 ERA and will start against Reds right-hander Brady Singer, who is 5-11 with a 4.66 ERA on Thursday. In scores from around the MLB yesterday, the Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Detroit Tigers 4-3, while the New York Mets took down the San Diego Padres 4-2. The Minnesota Twins beat the Atlanta Braves 6-4, while the Arizona Diamondbacks beat the Boston Red Sox 7-6 in 10 innings. The Philadelphia Phillies took down the Miami Marlins 4-1, while the New York Yankees beat the Baltimore Orioles 5-3. The San Francisco Giants blanked the Cleveland Guardians 1-0, while the Tampa Bay Rays beat the Toronto Blue Jays 7-6. The Kansas City Royals took down the Athletics 9-7, while the Seattle Mariners took down the Milwaukee Brewers 7-5. The Washington Nationals shut out the Texas Rangers 6-0, while the Houston Astros beat the Los Angeles Angels 3-2, and the Los Angeles Dodgers beat the Colorado Rockies 6-4 in 10 innings. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Don't let a summer sniffle turn into a summer setback. Whether it's a cold cough, rash, scrape, bug bite, or minor injury, Warner Hospital's walk-in clinic has you covered. No appointment necessary. Just walk in and be seen by our caring medical team. Fast, convenient care. Close to home means less time waiting, more time enjoying summer. Warner Hospital Walk-in Clinic. Right here when you need us.
If you're a farmer, downtime is not only lost time, but lost productivity and potentially lost profit. That's why when your equipment is down in the field, you need a mobile welding job right now. Call the professionals at AAK Mechanical in Clinton. Call 935-8501, 935-8501, and AAK Mechanical's mobile welding unit will be on their way with their mobile welding truck to fix the problem and get you up and going again. Put this number in your smartphone, 935-8501, for mobile welding service from AAK Mechanical in Clinton.
Here's Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson on how he works to save you money every day.
I know the retails at the stores indicator probably better than most of the people in the stores know. I monitor this closely so customers do not have to. And then you don't have to spend $40 or $30 driving round trip at 60 cents a mile to Decatur or Lincoln or Bloomington. That's real numbers. It's 60, 70 cents a mile to drive your car.
And as Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson always says,
hope to see you soon.
SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. What happens when you spend money you don't have? Just ask Uncle Sam. The national debt has hit a record $40 trillion, and that debt clock continues to spin. A Missouri judge has handed President Trump a win, ruling that a new Republican-friendly House district map that's backed by the president can be used in November. An appeal is expected. Canada and the U.S. closer to finalizing a trade agreement would avert threatened 50% U.S. tariffs. A senior Canadian official calls the emerging terms a very good deal for Canada. President Trump says that is the case for the U.S. as well. Walmart reporting another strong quarterly result, about $188 billion in revenue in the second quarter, up almost 6%. The Dow futures are down 400 points. NASDAQ futures off 230 points. This is SRN News.
Hey, I'm Brant, and her name is Sherry.
Hello.
She's a friend of mine whom we were just praying for because of a surgery she just went through.
Yes, and I am very happy about something you actually talk about all the time, which is
Medi-Share.
That is right.
Yeah. So what was your experience like with Medi-Share and the healthcare bills?
Honestly, Brant, seamless. And what a blessing that is when you're already nervous about a health issue, which I was.
Yeah.
Members shared my expenses. There were zero problems. And let me tell you, having people pray with you when you call in with your need, that is just...
It is refreshing.
Yes, that's what it is.
So I keep telling people love Medi-Share, and they love saving tons of money, too. The typical family can save $500 a month.
I am very thankful for Medi-Share. It is so different, and I mean different in a very, very good way.
It is good different. Call now. They're easy to talk to, and you can get a price within 2 minutes. Call 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE, 844-45-BIBLE.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local news update. DeLand-Weldon schools continue to see repairs moving forward after severe weather in the spring impacted its facilities. Superintendent Dr. Michael Tresnick explains the finishing touches are being put on the school as they get ready to welcome kids back on Friday. Many may notice ongoing work on the roof, but he says it is preventative maintenance that should be wrapped up soon.
A lot of things going on. As you know, we had the tornado back in end of April, and we're mostly got everything ready.
Good.
Waiting on 2 air conditioning units to get the show up, which that's just the nature of the beast with some of those. But hopefully they'll be here Monday, get those installed. But essentially everything else is done, and people are driving by. They'll notice that they are tearing on the roof again. But we're doing. We worked with our insurance company, and we had a section of the roof that was okay, but we were worried that in the long term might be some issues.
Sure.
So we decided we're going to go ahead and take that all off and replace it too with, and it's being covered by insurance.
Good.
So people will see that going on, but we hope to have that all done before the kids come back on the 21st.
Dr. Tresnick credits the speedy response to the strong relationships the district has with local contractors, as well as the staff and community members who helped to clear items out as water poured from the ceilings.
Well, it started with, the phone call to the insurance company, and they basically said, get going.
Yeah.
We understand. And so we had some really good contractors that we had a relationship with before, had done some work for us before, and contacted them and says, hey, can you, how fast can you man up? And they got out there pretty quick to help us out. And so that made all the difference, is that, good local contractors that were willing to work with us and get the job done. So makes a difference. Makes a difference having those relationships, and we were able to move forward. So really happy with how it came together, and don't want to have to go through that again. But when you do, and and it worked out, and I have a great staff over there, that both custodial and the teachers and everyone working together to try to make the best of a bad situation. And it's come out really well.
Follow along with all the back to school updates and information by visiting dwschools.org or by finding their Facebook page. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Finding a local job in Central Illinois has never been easier. Don't waste time driving far or spending too much on gas. Visit IllinoisJobPost.com. It's your one-stop site to find local, full-time, and part-time job openings. Best of all, it's completely free for job seekers to access anytime, day or night. So if you're ready to land a job close to home, make IllinoisJobPost.com your first stop. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. Brought to you by your friends at the regional radio station.
In the communities we call home, connection means something more. That's why Connexus Fiber Internet combines the strength of a locally owned network with support from people who call this community home. The internet that powers your day should be built with the same care as the community around you. Connexus provides the speed you want, reliability you need, and the service you expect from neighbors who live here too. Luxury speed, hometown heart. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
Hey, soybean farmers. Want to explore how agronomics, on-farm trials, conservation practices, and checkoff-funded research work together? Come to the Illinois Crop Management Field Day in Decatur on Thursday, September 10th. Don't miss this interactive learning opportunity. Earn CCA credits, enjoy lunch, and connect with other growers across the state. Visit ilsoy.org to sign up and see our list of expert speakers and topics. Funded by the Illinois Soybean Checkoff Program.
Don't let a summer sniffle turn into a summer setback. Whether it's a cold cough, rash, scrape, bug bite, or minor injury, Warner Hospital's walk-in clinic has you covered. No appointment necessary. Just walk in and be seen by our caring medical team. Fast, convenient care. Close to home means less time waiting, more time enjoying summer. Warner Hospital Walk-in Clinic, right here when you need us.
You're listening to a best of segment of the WHOW Morning Show, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, this is a best of the WHOW Morning Show.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today from the Clinton Police Department, Chief Ben Lowers. Good to see you, Chief. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well, Seth.
Good to see you. Thanks as always for coming out. And SRO Officer Cody Mayer. Cody, how are you, sir?
Pretty good. You ready to get back and rolling in school?
Yeah, we are less than a week away, and I'll tell you what. Let's dive right into it, Cody. First of all, back to school time. I know first day is Monday, if I'm not mistaken, and
correct.
Yeah, so the first few weeks always present a lot of challenges just because of all the drop off and pickup. Everybody wants that first day of school picture, and I'll make sure kids that are new to buildings get in. What are the biggest challenges the first week or two of school for you?
Well, one of the big ones we always discuss every year is Illini Drive. If you're dropping off at CES, what the school is requesting is you come from the south down by Kleeman, come heading north, and you turn in that way. And then if you're going to the junior high for drop-off, what they're requesting is you're coming from 54 and heading south. That kind of helps that traffic jam that kind of happens there. They're requesting it. We have parents that don't do it every year. It is a big irritation to the parents who are following the rules and when someone cuts in line when they've been waiting. So, but to add on top of that this year, we had the combination of Lincoln and Douglas School for kindergarten and first grade. Which means we're going to have more traffic for pickup drop-off on Jackson Street at Lincoln School. So what the admin at that building is asking is that when you get on Jackson Street, they're asking you go 2 blocks north up to Jefferson, or up to Adams, and then head south. That way that line can start to develop. And we can kind of see this is kind of a trial and error process. We're going to see how it goes for a few weeks and see if we need to adjust it. But for right now, if we can have parents go up to Adams Street and then head back down south and start to create that line that way, and we'll see how things kind of shake out that way.
Got it. Very good. Okay. So keep that traffic flow in mind of course, you mentioned the combination of grade levels at Lincoln and Douglas School. So at Douglas School, any new challenges or things you're concerned about with what's happening in that building?
Yeah, Douglas will be just preschool this year. The main concern with Douglas every year, that's the highest amount of reports I get of people running school bus stop signs. Almost every single one I get comes from Douglas.
Probably because you're on 2 main roads through the community?
Yeah, it's Main Street right there in front of the school. Some people tell me they didn't think both lanes of traffic have to stop. Both lanes have to stop when that stop sign comes out. Also, people get in a rush and think, it's not that big of a deal. Well, it is. A lot of people don't know that the state law for running that stop sign, if you're convicted, you get your driver's license suspended automatically. That's not even something the judge makes a decision on. It's the state statute for that. So you get convicted for running that stop sign on a school bus, your license is going to be taken away.
Wow. All right. So big penalty. And obviously for good reason, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so Officer Mayer, let's talk about school zones. The do's and don'ts. The what to be on the lookout for. How you should proceed in certain circumstances. Let's dive into those things.
Yeah, and everybody, including the people in this room, we're all more tired in the morning. It's we haven't had our coffee or whatever caffeine source you use. So sometimes we're not on we're not quite 100% yet, but we need to be once school gets back in session. So whether that be slowing down a little bit more than normal, paying attention, keeping your head on a swivel, kind of get used to that because everybody's seen a kid just go out into traffic.
Sure.
They're not paying attention because they're kids and they're tired still too. They're getting back into their routine. So we need to be paying attention to that, paying attention to school crossing guards. We get lots of complaints about people not obeying them as well.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, they just stand right in the middle of the road. What are you going to do? Good grief.
There's people that even though they're out there with the stop sign up, they'll just, once the kids are across, they go. But the law for that states you have to wait for the crossing guard to get out of the road too. I mean,
right.
Child safety obviously is our utmost importance with that law, but at the same time, we got to care about the safety of those people who are working that crossing guard job as well.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt. And also, I know we talked a little bit about this in the before we came on, and there's a little bit of a wrinkle I want to get to later. But just generally, kids walking from like the Kleeman neighborhood over to CES, the junior high, kids in the neighborhood surrounding like Douglas and Lincoln School. Maybe there's a few that walk independently frequently to school. I know I see a few out in the mornings when I'm coming into work. Just talk pedestrian traffic a little bit, Cody. And, even though it's not like directly around the school zone, there's still going to be kids out walking to classes and such.
Yeah, and even though we have, our crossing guards placed at strategic places, there's going to be kids that go the way they want to go. So just pay attention to them. Some of them are small and they'll be hiding behind a car and just pop right out, someone parked on the side of the road that you can't see them coming out from behind. With that in mind, parents should know that they should be advising and instructing their children to go to the crossing guard. Don't just cross anywhere. That creates more danger in a high traffic area where people are, rushing, trying to get to work, trying to get to school, trying to do both at the same time, getting their kids to school and then get to work. So the parents and the kids need to be paying attention to that stuff as well.
Very good. Very good. Let's talk a little bit more. The area of CES, junior high, high school, particularly Van Buren, gets very, very congested. How about just general motorist patience during, school drop off and pickup times?
Yeah, I mean, it's something we all have to expect. School's coming back in session. Everywhere is going to be a little bit busier. If there's a different route you can take to where you're not going through all that school traffic, you avoid the crossing guards. You avoid, getting irritated because the school bus stop arm's out for 2 minutes while they had a kid crying that was refusing to get off the bus first day because they want to be with mom. Those type of things. People get frustrated and they get, impatient and they just think I'm just going to go, things like that. So if there's a different route you can take that gets you to your destination, that doesn't take you that much more time, you can avoid that traffic. I'm obviously not a lawful order saying to do that or anything, but it could kind of free up a lot of things and make it a safer area in all of those high traffic areas.
I want to go back to the crossing arm of the school buses, because even I get confused on this. I see the flashing lights, but I don't see the stop arm. I don't see the stop sign that comes off the bus. And so, even I sit there and think, okay, can I go around this school bus even though the lights are flashing, but I don't see the stop arm and the stop sign? What are when you're coming up on a school bus, what do we need to be looking for?
So they have 3 different things on them. They have the yellow flashing lights, and then when they open the door or activate the arm, it'll put the stop arm and the red flashing lights. So a lot of people get confused because at pickup time, where it's time for dismissal, the buses will get there a few minutes early and they'll have the yellow flashers on. The yellow flashers mean proceed with caution.
Okay.
Because they may sit there for 5 minutes as they wait for dismissal to happen.
Sure.
As soon as those red lights come on and that stop arm comes out, you have to stop.
Okay. All right. Good.
And the only time it's not both ways is if it's a divided highway and we don't have a lot of buses stopping out on 51. That's the only place in the county where it wouldn't have to stop both lanes, but we don't pick up a lot there.
Another one I just had this thought on, a bus is coming up on a railroad crossing, and they obviously stop, open the door to check for the sirens and all of that. When you're on the other side of you're coming the opposite way of the bus, you're coming at it, and you see that bus stop, do you have to stop or can you continue to proceed?
So anytime there are children in the bus and the stop arm comes out, you have to stop.
Got it. But if they're just stopped checking at the railroad crossing, you're okay to continue
if it's
on.
just the yellows on,
Okay.
you can proceed.
All right. So like a stop or like a stoplight.
Yeah.
See the red, stop, yellow, proceed with caution. Absolutely. Sure. Very good. That is School Resource Officer Cody Mayer with the Clinton Police Department. Chief Ben Lowers in studio with us this morning as well. Cody, Ben, did I miss anything specifically on kind of getting back to school traffic patterns? Anything we didn't touch on y'all want to put out there for us?
Yeah, no, I think Officer Mayer hit the main points there. Specifically, the first few days is just kind of everybody gets into their routine, and we'll make adjustments from day to day on what time they need to leave. Just figured out, as he said, the school puts out recommendations for those traffic flows, like on Illini Drive, that approaching from the south to Clinton Elementary School, approaching from the north to the junior high, approaching from the north to the new schedule, I guess, at Lincoln School. Those aren't the law, but if everyone would follow that advice and just be patient, they put a lot of thought, and quite frankly, in the topic of Illini Drive in Clinton Elementary, many years of experience now. And I think that we've decided that this is about the best that we've come up with, or that they've come up with, for traffic flow. So if everybody would heed that advice, and work together, it makes it a lot smoother for everybody else. Just be more patient, be more aware and cognizant of the pedestrian traffic, the bicycle traffic, not only around the schools, but in our residential neighborhoods, as he mentioned. I think from a parent standpoint, he talked about crossings. Yes, it's best. They have the cross guards at the busier, more major intersections, but making sure that kids are aware that we cross at the corners. As a motorist, traveling through any neighborhood, we don't expect to see kids darting across the road in the middle of the block. So we want to teach our kids, our students that are walking, to cross at the corners where there will be more expected to be seen as well. So just everybody working together. It's the same thing. It's going to take a few days for everybody to kind of get in the mode and, make those adjustments as we go. And again, as he said, for those folks that don't necessarily have to travel through the school zones on their morning routine, we ask that you maybe take an alternative route until everybody kind of works those glitches out and gets in a rhythm.
I said it takes about a week for everything to work itself out. So, and the nice thing is we start school on a Monday this year, so it's not like Thursday, 2 days, to get and then a whole another week, so we start on a Monday.
One of my favorite stories is back the first year that Clinton Elementary School opened was one of my first years as chief of police. And I think school started on a Wednesday, and on Friday I got a call from the principal that said, we've got a serious traffic issue here. And they did. It was kind of a mess trying to figure it out, but she said, we've got a serious traffic concern here with pickup and drop off and pickup. She said, we've got kids who haven't been able to be picked up. And I said, it's day 3 of school. We've got kids that were dropped off the first day and they haven't been able to be picked up since. And no, that wasn't the case. But inevitably, it takes a few days for everybody to kind of get in the rhythm.
Yeah.
And a lot of times throughout the year, the complaints that we get won't be from the normal drop off and pickup parents. It might be from a grandparent or someone else who all of a sudden this one day offered to pick up a student and calls in, this is a mess. It is, especially to the untrained eye.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of gets in their own rhythm, but yes, the more people that will follow that advice and encouragement from the schools for the traffic flow, the much smoother that it's going to be.
All right, very good. Well, on that, gentlemen, let's take a break. Cody, I know you want to talk like e-bikes, bikers in general, and I think this may overlap with a conversation about the high school. So we've got plenty more to come. Again, SRO Cody Mayer and Chief Ben Lowers with the Clinton Police Department, our guests in studio. More to come on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now with the Chicago Board of Trade on this Thursday. I'm Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network. We start the day in the green with corn, beans, and Chicago wheat. September corn opening 478 and a quarter, up a nickel. December corn up 5 1/4, 503 1/4. March corn 518 1/4, up 4 1/2. September beans 1222, down 1/4. November beans up a penny, 1238. January beans up 1 1/4, 1252 1/2. September Chicago wheat 685 1/4, up a nickel. September KC wheat up 1 1/4, 762 1/2. September bean meal 320.40, up $1.50. September bean oil, 70.25, up 39 cents. Energy market this morning, October Brent crude oil is up 211, 93.73. RFD Radio Network.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. This is what we do every day. We listen to you, give you options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that's knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full-service dealer. See us at baumchevybuick.com right from the start.
Do you love the DeWitt County community? Are you the person who knows everyone in town and has a heart for the people who live here? Hart Media is looking for another sales account manager to join our team. We're hunting for a fun, outgoing person who wants to be the face of our media products. Help local businesses share their stories through radio and digital media. If you've got a drive to succeed and a passion for people, submit your resume. Connect at heartmg.com. Work where your ideas actually matter. Connect at heartmg.com.
Here's Matt Hart, owner of the Hart Media Group in Clinton, talking about continuing to serve the community through new ownership.
Things came together and we reached an agreement to purchase. And as you mentioned, we closed August the 1st. So as August the 1st, Miller Media Group is now Hart Media Group. And we're continuing to serve the people of Clinton and DeWitt County and Monticello and Bloomington and Decatur and everywhere, because we'll just keep connecting people as we've been doing.
The Hart Media Group looks forward to continuing to serve the community for years to come. You're listening to a best of segment of the WHOW Morning Show, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, this is a best of the WHOW Morning Show.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, my guests in studio today, Clinton Police Chief Ben Lowers and School Resource Officer Cody Mayer with us as we talk back to school. Cody, let's get into e-bikes. Chief and I talked about this last month, just kind of general rules around it. But for you, I'm sure you encounter a lot of young people on these e-bikes and dealing with familiarizing them with rules of the road. You know, since they don't drive, they may not be as familiar with rules of the road at this point. So how about this challenge? Not even as it relates to back to school, just the challenge in general.
Yeah, and e-bikes are definitely a challenge, but since they've come out, we've had more complaints about all kinds of bicycles. These last few weeks, I've been just getting out with kids and talking to them. I've probably talked to 20 different kids about, hey, do you know rules of the road? Like, I see them just run a stop sign. Do you know that you have to obey that, whether it be an e-bike or a regular bike? One thing I've also been, and this is good for the parents to know too, I've been telling these kids, like, you know, you can get a traffic citation on a bicycle. What do you think the state of Illinois is going to do with your driver's license at 16 if you get a traffic citation when you're 14? Are you going to get your driver's license when you turn 16? That's going to be up to the state and the judge. So you don't want to mess up that big thing you've been looking forward to for years because you did a dumb thing on a bicycle when you were 14. But with the schools, the junior high and the high school specifically, we do see a lot of the e-bikes. If you drive down Illini Drive or 54, you'll see our bike racks with those e-bikes parked out there and chained up. And as we've talked about earlier, those are high traffic areas when school is back in session. So it's important that, one, the parents doing drop-off, pickup are paying attention, but those kids need to know the rules of the road and follow them. We have had lots of complaints, specifically on Illini Drive, about kids not following those rules. So it can be dangerous, but if they pay attention, if they know the rules, which during 6th grade, I do teach them a portion about that.
Okay.
But if they're paying attention, they know the rules, they're following those rules, it makes it a safer situation.
So what's in terms of, like, a lot of people probably wonder, Cody, like, can junior high, can grade school, junior high, high school kids even be on these bikes? I mean, based on the conversation with Chief last month, they may have that question here this morning.
Yeah, so the answer right now, the beginning of the school, the answer is going to be yes. Come January 1st, there's going to be new laws in place. Something maybe parents need to think about as they're thinking about Christmas, going to buy their kid one of these bikes or something like that.
Okay.
January 1st, you have to be 15. So
All right.
junior high age students will not be able to drive these past January 1st. And that's for class 1 and 2, which go up to 20 mile an hour.
Okay.
A lot of these kids right now are riding those e-bikes that go faster than that. Those are considered class 3. And at class 3, which goes up to 28 mile an hour, you have to be 16 to drive those. So those laws are going to come in effect January 1st. That's probably going to be a big frustration for some parents because they've dropped a lot of money on these things for these kids, and now they're just going to sit in the car or in the garage. But January 1st, the answer is going to be no for junior high age students.
Do you, as it relates to back to school, do you anticipate an issue with e-bikes around, say, CES, junior high, high school area? I think even the high school area probably would be very problematic, given that main thoroughfare that it's next to, kids trying to get to school on these things. What do you think the challenge is going to be?
I will tell you, I don't know if I've had a single complaint about them at the high school.
Okay.
It's been all junior high aged kids. A lot of those high schoolers are getting to the point to where either they're driving or they have a friend who can drive. So there's a few of them out there for sure. But one, they're more mature. They've been through a driver's ed class with me talking about stuff, as well as our driver's ed teachers. And they know what they're supposed to be doing. And a lot of them will cut through Tractor Supply parking lot to stay off 54.
Sure.
And then cross over directly into the parking lot. So we don't have a lot of issues on 54 in front of the high school.
Fair enough. Very good. Good, Chief.
You know, we talked about that last month, and we get an exorbitant amount of complaints about the e-bikes and the scooters. While I think they're a great resource and to have, and when operated safely and whatnot, it's a great thing to have available to us. But the complaints that we get are more oftentimes the operation of them, not the mere existence of them. It's the running the stop signs. It's the lane usage, you know, that they're required to stay to the farthest right side of the roadway in with the correct traffic flow, direction of traffic flow, you know, hand signals when turning, but stopping, you know, pulling in and out of parking lots, sliding across lanes of traffic, things of that nature. It's the operation of, and there again, as Officer Mayer had said, the younger kids riding them may not be familiar with the rules of the road. Some of the adults riding them, the reason they are is because they've lost a driver's license. Well, there was a reason that they lost it, and they're not any better at operating an e-bike than they were a vehicle, you know? And so ultimately it comes down to, from my standpoint, the majority of the conversations that I have are about the operation of them, not necessarily the mere existence of them. And so that's what we've got to be cognizant of. And you know, we will and will continue to enforce those rules of the road. And as Officer Mayer said, you know, do you want to have a stack of traffic tickets against you before you even turn 16 because you were operating, you know, irresponsibly operating an e-bike on the roadway? So, you know, parents need to be having these conversations. Knock on wood, we've not had a serious accident here locally. But as I said last month, I mean, it's not a matter of if, it's when. And when we do, that's going to be a serious, any you know, vehicle versus pedestrian, bicycle, e-bike, that's not going to be a good accident. So none of them are. But,
sure.
Anyway, so have those talks with your kids and be thinking about that responsibility before you just hand them a vehicle that could cause serious situation down the road.
Good advice, gentlemen. Well done as always. Good luck with back to school, Officer Mayer. Thank you. Again, that's SRO Cody Mayer, Clinton Police Chief Ben Lowers in studio with us this morning. Network news on the way on the morning show. Live expanded local news is heard weekdays on WHOW at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., noon, and 4 p.m. And it's streamed live online all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton, along with 92.3 FM Clinton and 106.5 FM Bloomington Normal.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rex Thomason. President Trump now threatens all-out economic war on Iran, but it's a warning it's apparently falling on deaf ears in Tehran.
Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi is rejecting President Donald Trump's threats of economic pain and isolation, saying such failed policies will only stir more hostility among Iranians and bring more failures. Trump has threatened crushing economic measures against Iran, promising economic warfare and isolation on an unprecedented scale. Araghchi says in a social media post that Trump's threats are meant to divert the attention of the U.S. public from domestic financial problems. I'm Donna Warder.
The hands of the national debt clock continue to spin at a dizzying pace. America's debt hitting a record $40 trillion, and it's growing. The winds of war blow at hurricane force across both Russia and Ukraine.
A Russian missile barrage has killed at least 12 people in Ukraine's capital as Ukraine continued to strike targets inside Russia. Cell phone footage captured by Kyiv resident Yehor Konovalov showed a flaming plume of orange smoke rise from the capital's horizon. The strikes hit 12 locations across Kyiv, damaging residential buildings,